Love me back. Love me back.
I love that! Yeah.
Oh, see, but
Then
I
you
could,
climb
I
up.
could do it.
You could. Because if you take that minute to breathe once you're down there, breathe, and then climb up, I think you would be.
From there, I would go to the drop.
Yep.
But even before I did this, I could do more of my.
Yeah, you could.
Sorry.
Extension, yeah.
Extensions, just to give myself the time.
I agree, yeah.
Okay, I think that.
Or you could just come out again and then just reclaim. Whatever you feel like you want to do.
Yeah, so I mean, so blue is really the counterpart to pink. The other personas, like JJ Japanime, for instance, was more of a response to Lady Miss Kier from Delight, you know, from back in the early 90s. I went out and I met her and I stuck with her. Josh Nova, you know, is more of a response to Lady Gaga, where it was like, I need a really clear, simple name. Joshua Dreisager is like too much for people to remember, so let me get a clear, simple name, but then let me also do like some over-the-top pop stuff and have this persona, you know, to do that. But I don't know, you know, at the end of the day, it's all Josh, you know, it's all me. I don't really, it's, whether it's Blue, whether it's Josh Nova, whether it's JJ Japanime, it's all just Josh. This idea, you know, to have like different genres assigned to these different personas and whatnot. And with Blue, it's so close to home for me because I feel like in the last 20 years, I've really tried to keep up with Pink. As many stunts as she's done and whatnot, I've been like, oh, I could do that, I could do that. And I've been trying to do the same kind of things. And, you know, music-wise, we're on the same page too, where it's like she wants to sing about the same kinds of things that I want to sing about. And a lot of that has to do with change in the world and standing up for what you believe in, and I'm there, I'm all for it. So if there is a separation between Blue and Josh Nova and JJ Japanime, and like fine, we can all be separate characters for different times, that's whatever we want to put out.
He's a beautiful gang in the neighborhood, from New York City to West Hollywood. He likes to sing, he loves to dance, and sometimes he forgets to put on his pants.
But Blue's definitely the most important one to me right now because I feel like it really does sync with society and sync with what's going on in the world, and I feel like she's looking for a counterpart, and I can fill that void. That's all I know so far. That video is epic. I love it. I love that Cher is in it. I love that her daughter's in it. It's a really, oh, and then, what was it, like something with sunshine that she sang with her daughter?
You are the sunshine in my life. Oh, the only love I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are the apple of my eye. Yeah. You're the only one. Yeah.
Cover me with sunshine. That was a nice one too. There's also a new single I just heard today. I think it's called Renegade or Irrelevant. Yeah, I haven't heard it enough to understand, but when I heard the lyrics, I was like, I'm like, we were like right in the same fucking like path. Like, you know, I just wrote Thrive the other day and then I heard this song today. Thankfully, we didn't say the exact same things. But in a way, we had like the same sort of ideas, once again, just like floored about everything. The beautiful trauma, you know, when she was dangling off the building at the VMAs, you know, the next day I was literally dangling from a rope off a customer's like a 40-foot rooftop just to prove that I could do it, to be like, I'm keeping up with you, I'm right here, I've got this. Like, you know, but I also cried that I wasn't there, like right next to her.
We were on fire, I slashed your tires. It's like we burn so bright, we burn out. I made you chase me, I wasn't that friendly. My love, my drive, we're my sound. Been on the run so long they can't find me.
Like, I'm just gonna walk down the side of a building, you know, 100 feet in the air above a crowd. Sort of wondering if there's nets down there. I was crying And I called my sister on the phone. Why am I not there with her? I'm like, what have I done so wrong in my life? It was ridiculous. Because at that point, it was just too much for me because I just felt like we had such similar styles of music and I guess risk-taking, maybe. I think the music industry is a risky business. I think you do need to take risks and you do need to try things and create things and you need to fail and you succeed by doing all of that. And I feel like I'm getting to that moment. Her voice is the voice that I needed to find my voice. Thank you. You don't have to straight out the gate be like nuts. You can build up to like crazy. It was a Trust Fall interview I saw for her album release party. She was saying she can't believe half the stuff she does sometimes. The producer will come up to her and tell her something and she'll be like, I can do that? You think I can do that? Like, do we need insurance? I was just cracking up because she's flying around a stadium over hundreds of people and that is insane. I don't know if I'm that crazy. Yeah, I am. But now we're doing choreography, on the side of a building. This looks like fun. If you don't live your life on the edge, you're not really living it, I think, until you're at that point. And when I went to do aerial at the House of Yes, we would do shots of whiskey and just jump off 30-foot balconies, swinging on a rope, and it was like the best thing. Just so carefree and so fun, and everyone's like in awe because they couldn't liberate themselves to the point of doing that. It was so much fun. It was so thrilling, and I want to do more of that, but you can't do more of that, when you're partying or you're, a drunk person, because you can definitely fall and crack your head open. People that I was working with were a little concerned that I'm climbing 30 feet in the air and just dangling there and dropping myself down in all of these different knots and things, and you would think I wanted to jump off of a cliff, but no, that was just me being inspired. So I'm a little bit of a risk taker. I can't say that I really would have dangled off the side of that building with Pink, but she probably could have convinced me to do it. I didn't realize that I wanted to do this character until more recently. I was like, you know what, let me try something new. Let me look at my life and what has been a consistent thing, and not only that, but I really wanted to tell this story. I want to tell my story of all these different personas and reasons for them, and my obsession with Pink and Gwen Stefani, and the idea of having a counterpart started with Batman and Robin. Dynamic duo at the circus, and I always wanted to be Robin because I thought my dad was Batman. We ended up going and seeing Barnum and Bailey circus because the house I grew up in Brewster was one of their stops along their route. But all those three things, I'm Robin, Barnum and Bailey stopped by our house has history, going to see the circus, and that was really inspiring to me, which is why I like to do a lot of the stunts and things. I just saw these people having so much fun, and I'm not an acrobat, I'm not Cirque du Soleil, I can't do that stuff really anymore. But I have done a very high stilt walking and the aerial stuff and some hooping. Just fun sort of underground dance party vibes. I've never done fire before, but I kind of want to try that. Fire poi, maybe. I don't know if you know what that is. You're just spinning flames around like this. Or, When I was at House of Yes, my roommate would do that on the rooftop all the time. But he had a hula hoop that he was doing I don't know how. And circus certainly dives deeper than that. But there's always just been this common thread of circus in my life. And now, now I'm in Bridgeport, and this is where Barnum was mayor. So I'm like, how is this coming full circle, in the 30 some odd years I've been here? And I like that idea. It's I'm almost on this similar route that he was. I don't know why I like to connect the dots and put things together so much like that, but I'm always constantly thinking oh my God, how did this happen? But I think it's the universe telling me something, You see a sign or a symbol and you're on the right track with things. This is the moment it's all coming together for me. I'm gonna be happy one day. Look, I love sad songs, and I think a lot of this record is, I have 4 ballads out the gate already, but I also need to do some rock and punk and maybe blues even, right? We'll see, I have a few more tracks to get done, but if I don't fit them all on this one, there's always the next, right? I want people to know my other personas. I don't know what you want to call them, personas, stage names, alter egos. I feel like JJ Japanime is more of an alter ego. But what was cool about him is that I lived as him. I went out to clubs as this half animated, half human character, and I wrote dance tracks, underground clubby kind of stuff, which was a different genre that I'm used to. I mostly do like acoustic pop rock. Well, that's another thing about music I really love is all the different genres and blending them together. It seems like there's endless possibilities and there's really no rules. You can just, rock and roll, man.
And the gays be like,
L-A-B, vagina. C-H-R, vagina.
That's the thing I think I love most about Madonna, the reinvention. That got me going on that too. You can always reinvent yourself. You don't have to fail at something. Just because Icon James didn't work didn't mean that JJ Paname was not gonna work, or Josh Nova, or whatever kind of ideas, Blue, and you just keep trying. I love all the songs that I've written. No one's ever heard most of them, yet, but I just gotta look at David Bowie for that as well. You can't really ignore that. It's just a cool thing to do, and when you're creative, it's fun to step outside yourself, to view things from a different perspective, and to challenge yourself. So I got my start in production in Chappaqua, New York. I was working with a guy who was one of the heads of marketing for Sony. He would just always bring home all the records. This is when there were still CDs. And he would always bring home all the albums, and I'd go over to his house and we would just listen to stuff that wasn't out yet and decide which songs were gonna be hits and not. A couple of them were Pink's albums. That was when I'm Not Dead came out. I just was obsessed with that album. So he had a company called Double Deal Records. So I would go over there, not only listen to music like half the weekend, but make music and use the studio setup that was there. And that's where I learned a lot of different things. He was kind of a mentor to me. I ended up doing a record with him for a persona named Icon James. He had wanted me to be like Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift was selling so much, and I'm like, I don't know if I love that. Icon James was one of the better records I've made because it was done, professionally in the studio. It wasn't as raw, it was very cleaned up. I didn't love it. It was more like what he had wanted me to be. Hi. It was more like what he wanted me to be versus what I wanted to be. So Adam Lambert came out, I'm like, that's what I wanted to be. Like, there was this whole thing about being gay and that not selling, and so you can't be a gay artist. Everybody wants you to have this like clean-cut, straight look. You have a beard for a girlfriend. It's all about sales. When you're in marketing, it's all about sales. Lie, like through your teeth to be everything that you're not, just so you can sell records. I'm not into that at all. I have a hard time not telling the truth about stuff, and I don't like fake people. It's produced stuff, but it's not produced by the artist, it's produced by someone else or a team of people. I thought Britney Spears did everything by herself. I really did. I had no idea that there was a whole team of things. I just thought she was that fucking awesome. Like, she was sitting there writing the songs and producing stuff in the studio. I didn't know she was like smoking Marlboros and drinking Red Bulls outside while everybody else did everything for her. That also made me work harder because in my mind, that was what a true artist did. They looked at every little aspect of it, put it all together. I don't know, just the concept of counterpart. You think about like Sonny and Cher and how that was like such a fabulous dynamic duo. We haven't really like seen anything since then like that. Have we? No, right? So I thought that was a very original idea, and that was another reason I just kind of went for that. I think it would be cool to have like sort of that dynamic on stage with her, to be flying around together and singing different songs and have that like boy girl game of life thing going on. Like, I think it's so cute. I did my first aerial performance where I'm singing live to one of my own original songs, upside down, in front of an audience, like I always wanted to do. It may have taken me 10 years to get there, But I finally did, so I don't really have to be sad anymore. I have something to be happy about. It makes me feel very, very strong and powerful when I'm done doing it. Like, I'm just like, yes, I can stand upside down on my head. Yes, I can also sing while I'm doing that. Like, yes, I'm just there in the moment. And it's, thank you. This gentleman over here. Yes, thank you for coming. Yeah, good luck with your life too. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, no, I mean definitely buy a gun. Just don't tell me that. I didn't hear that. Don't do drugs, kid. It's bad. Okay, you know that already. Okay, but thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you, really appreciate you. What was your question, sir? Oh, what about abortion? Don't even get me started. Said the sperm to the egg. It's just so exciting now to be on this path, and I'm excited to write this record. It's almost done, I think. I've already written about 16 tracks for it. I'm just flushing through them now, just trying to figure out which ones I want to take into production. Last year, over the pandemic, or 2 years ago, I made a whole record. It was pretty angsty. I have to just go through all of them and then pick out the ones that I want for this record that kind of fit in. Today, like driving down the road, I totally wrote like a new hook or like concept. I usually start with a concept and then kind of run with it. Concept was about not just surviving, but thriving. Animals, it's kind of like survival of the fittest for them. But us as human beings, like thinking that we're so much better than animals or that we're not animals, even though we are, should be able to thrive. And it shouldn't be the same like situation for us that it is for them. And maybe it shouldn't be the same for them. But I just thought it was a good concept, like to write about kind of like everything that's going on now and like all of this like fear driven stuff happening in the media that just, you know, or these like mass shootings and things that make people like not want to go outside, like, oh, I can't even go to a parade anymore. And it's just, I'm so sick of like struggling to survive. Like I want to live life and enjoy it, and like the point of like being alive is to live. So just let me fucking live, let me thrive, you know. So that's kind of what it's about. So I'll see if I can like hone in my super songwriting senses into a track for this record.
It'll all be worth the wait. Oh, worth it, worth it, worth it. Perfect, baby, you're perfect. Baby, you deserve it. Worth it, worth it, worth it. Perfect, baby, you're perfect. Worth the wait.
So this album is really, it's very spiritual and very connected to another plane. I would like it just to be so simple and just be like, hey, this is how I feel and this is how you feel, and oh what a great album. But no, I'm listening and I'm tuned into these vibes that are going on, these areas of life that are not addressed. I can't tell you that this album came all from me. It really didn't. I think it came from a lot of you, a lot of me listening to all of you and trying to have this extra perception in life and being like, you know what, I'm listening to like all your feelings and things, and I want to take all these feelings and I want to turn them into something beautiful. And like for me, what that is a song. I don't know that those are the best songs that I will ever write, but I do know they're some of the most beautiful expressions of emotion that come from the repression of emotion. Like, I don't need someone to fucking love me back. I don't need for someone to tell me, you know, I've been every color of the rainbow. I know that already. But it's like putting it out there and saying, hey, I've also been here before. The point of me making music is to relate to what's going on in the world. And I'm not trying to cause any kind of unnecessary drama or conflict, but I do think it's important for people to understand that they can be who they want to be and express themselves. There shouldn't be anything holding them back from that, really. For me, it did hold me back for a long time. I'm all of these different things, and, you know, from a day-to-day basis, I could change that, you know. So here we are, trying to figure that shit out. Nothing wrong or right about it. It's just, that's just the way it is. So enjoy it. Let it be enjoyable. There's no reason why we should all be upset about us finding ourselves. Yeah, a lot of my accomplishments involve strength because I feel like I'm never strong enough, especially having the diabetes and being having something where I'm not a quote unquote normal person, you know what I mean? And like I had this one less ability. I mean, it very well could be worse, and I really hate that expression, but it could be. So I try to do the best I can. But every time I do something like that, I feel somehow a little more accomplished than a normal person. Because I'm like, I just faced fear straight in the face. And I just did that. That's what feels good to me. Those accomplishments and steps, you know, that feel like you're going somewhere. Where, I don't know 100%, but you know, I just keep wanting to do things like that and build my strength up. And this record is really gonna show that, how far I've come with all of it, with the productions, with aerial stuff, stunts, music, you know, songwriting. I'm really excited about it. In my life, there has been so many obstacles and so many things that I've gone through where I felt like giving up. And I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, the best thing that there ever was music. And music saved me. You know, I was like, shit, like as much as I'm going through, as much as I'm dealing with, there's this song, right? I can sing this song, I can dance around my room, I can sing this song and I can feel good about myself. I don't have to feel down. I don't have to feel repressed or depressed or oppressed or whatever the fucking government is trying to do to me. Fuck you. I'm never gonna not dance again.
I will be with you till the world blows up. I've been up late watching you breathe, wondering if you're gonna leave. Don't tell me what you see, that you actually believe it. Fuck, I'm blue. And all the photos that you like of a better life, better wife, better nights, better high. Goddamn right, I miss drinking. Yeah, I do. But I've been up late nights, staring at the street lights, all the cigarette smoke